Welcome to County Magazine, a chance to find out what's new across Fairfax County. I'm Brian Ashby. On this edition, we'll talk with Abby Dunner from the Office to Prevent and End Homelessness about the Hypothermia Prevention Program. We'll join a very special Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration. Plus, ArtsFairfax and Tysons Corner bring art and culture to your shopping experience. In Reston, the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day weekend was an inspiring three-day event that included special performances, volunteer services to the community, and a keynote address on solutions to end inequality by best-selling author Heather McGhee. Check it out.
We need to continue the work he started. We need to be more inclusive instead of exclusive, and we need to make sure that everyone lives their life to their fullest, that they are able to enjoy things that are there for everyone. And Dr. King, so much of his work was not just about equality, but it was about equity. Martin Luther King Day has been celebrated for 38 years now in the Reston community, and it involves just about everybody from different all walks of life here in Reston.
It gives us a chance to step back and enjoy and embrace the teachings of Dr. King and the differences among ourselves. We have community concerts, we have various community opportunities to give back, building lunches for the homeless shelter. We had a sickle cell blood drive, so it was a tremendous opportunity to celebrate the legacy of Dr. King and what he stands for.
This year we have a keynote speaker, Heather McGhee. Her book is #1 seller. I encourage everyone to get it and read it. It talks so much about the country here and how racism is affecting all of us. Here at the Community Center, for 38 years, it's not just Martin Luther King Day, but we celebrate what Martin Luther King stood about throughout the year.
Before this journey, I knew that the American economy had gone from the first 60 or so years of the 20th century looking more and more like a football, right, with a fat middle class and narrow ends of high and low income households on either side, to starting in the 1970s beginning to be squeezed to look more like a bow tie, right, with a squeezed middle class and bulging ends of high and low income households. And I knew the how of all that, right? That was sort of my job. I knew what had happened in tax policy and trade policy, to wage and hour standards, to industrial policy, to public investments and social services. I knew what had changed. It was a radical set of shifts. But I did not understand why. The life and writings of Dr. King were a recurring theme throughout my book. My favorite quote of his refers to the way in which we are connected, we are tied in a mutual garment of destiny. And the basic idea that an injury to one is an injury to all has really been a guiding premise in my work to elucidate the costs of racism, not just to people of color, but to everyone.
Though the cheer of the holiday season may now be a distant memory, the frigid, sometimes bitter cold weather persists. And this makes it more difficult and costly to heat our homes. But what if you don't own a home? How do you keep warm then? This problem has not gone unnoticed by the Office to Prevent and End Homelessness. Here to discuss the county's efforts to keep its most vulnerable residents warm this winter is Abby Dunner. Abby, welcome to County Magazine.
Thanks for having me.
So what is hypothermia and why is it so dangerous?
Yeah, so hypothermia happens when the body's core temperature drops below 95 degrees. That typically happens due to prolonged exposure to extreme cold temperatures. It's really dangerous because it impacts the body's regulatory system, so your organs can shut down, it impacts your brain, and ultimately it can be fatal.
And who is most vulnerable for hypothermia?
Yeah, so there's a lot of groups that are most at risk. That includes people who are elderly, who may not be able to heat their homes efficiently, people who go, hiking or outside for long periods of time, and people experiencing homelessness are especially at risk just because of the inevitable fact of being outside for extended periods of time and not always having a refuge or a warm place to recover.
And this is where your organization comes in. So can you tell us a little bit about the Hypothermia Prevention Program?
Sure. So the Hypothermia Prevention Program is intended to expand emergency shelter capacity in the winter months for people experiencing homelessness so that anybody who is in need of shelter can access it. It runs from December 1st to April 1st every year and is done largely in partnership with faith communities throughout Fairfax County who actually physically open their doors and host people inside. It's operated by county contracted nonprofits, so they actually do like the day-to-day operations and staff the program, but the faith communities provide volunteers, food, donations, not to mention the physical building space that the program's hosted in.
Okay. Well, so if a resident sees someone who may be at risk for hypothermia, what should they do?
Yeah, so the first thing we always say is if you see somebody at risk, you should call 911. If you think that they are in danger and they need emergency services, you should always call 911. If you see somebody who you think may be experiencing homelessness and could maybe benefit from the program or may not know about it, you can actually call the Fairfax non-emergency number, which is 703-691-2131. And if available, they'll send an officer out to do a wellness check on the person. And if the person is interested and the officer is able, they actually transport people to the nearest shelter. So that's a great partnership we've had with the Fairfax County Police Department for many years. Our team, our office also contracts with nonprofits to provide outreach services in the community. So we're out there every day trying to engage with people who are experiencing homelessness, try to connect them to services, get them to shelters. So people can also contact our office if they see somebody that they think needs help.
Great. And if our viewers want to learn more, where can they go?
Yeah, we have a lot of information on our website. So just the fairfaxcounty.gov/homeless. If you go on the left, you can toggle to the Hypothermia Prevention Program, information on hours, locations. There's also a printable flyer on our website that's in English and Spanish that folks can print and have in their cars. If they see people that they think may need the information, they can email it to their friends. And that has information about the locations and where they can get more involved to donate or volunteer.
That's fantastic. Abby, thank you very much for coming on County Magazine today and sharing this potentially life-saving information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
These days, people are working further into their senior years than ever before. To help maintain a thriving work life for senior residents, the Jewish Council for Aging, or JCA, held a job expo featuring networking opportunities and resources and a job search training program for senior job seekers. Here's more.
JCA is a nonprofit, and we are helping all seniors thrive. We have numerous, we touch really all aspects of the 50-plus community. The 50-plus virtual employment expos are a wonderful event where we have employers come with job opportunities. We have our 50-plus job seeker. It occurs from 10 to 2 on a particular day. From 10 to noon, we have 2 different presentations on topics of that job seekers would find of importance. And then from noon to 2, we have our employers come and present, and they tell us about their company, their nonprofit, and their job opportunities. And they come with anywhere between 3 and 5 job opportunities. The target audience are our 50-plus community as a job seeker. And for our virtual expos, there is no charge to our job seeker as well as the employers who participate. The Career Gateway is a 5-day job search skills training program for the professional 50-plus job seeker who is looking to re-enter the workplace or perhaps transition to a new career. We touch upon all aspects of the job search, from your resume writing to your networking skills to your interviewing skills to how to use LinkedIn more effectively. It's really an all-encompassing 5-day program for our 50-plus job seeker. We are always looking for Fairfax County employers to participate, and we would love for them to come with great job opportunities. So our next virtual expo out of Northern Virginia begins on Friday, April 14th. And then our Session 5 Career Gateway session begins on that Monday, April 17th, and then it continues for the every other day for those 5 days. And then our final Career Gateway session for 2023 begins on Monday, June 5th, continues on the 7th, 9th, 12th, and concludes on the 14th. For more information on the Career Gateway, please feel free to contact me, Jody Rash, check out our website, or call me, or you may email me as well. For additional information and to register for our virtual 50 Plus Employment Expos, you can contact Ann Happ at phone number or email her, or you can also always register and check out our website at virtualexpos.accessjca.org.
Aggressive driving. According to Virginia Code 46.2-868.1, a person is guilty of aggressive driving if they are in violation of any of the following. The penalties are stiff, and rightly so. Aggressive driving makes the roads more dangerous for you and your family. But there are 3 common violations spotted and cited by the Fairfax County Police most often. Tailgating or following too closely. It's not just rude, it's perilous. Tailgating makes collision more likely due to reduced braking distance. Following too closely violates the Code of Virginia and can earn you one of these. Excessive lane changing or weaving. Chances are you're no stunt driver. You're probably not even close. So you'd best leave this maneuver to the professionals. And the #1 killer on the road? Speeding. Unless you take a jump to light speed, the extra miles per hour you travel over the speed limit when you're late won't get you there significantly sooner. Add passing to the right to excessive speed, and you have the perfect bonehead move. Drivers to the left may not be expecting faster traffic to the right because it doesn't belong there. Do your part. Cut back on these and other bad aggressive driving habits and help make Fairfax County a better place to drive.
Next on County Magazine, ArtsFairfax, the county's premier arts organization, has teamed up with Tysons Corner Center to exhibit art in select commercial spaces. The current exhibition features art from Afghanistan, enhancing the shopping experience with unexpected beauty and cultural enrichment. Take a look.
We're at Tysons Corner Center, and we are opening an exhibition by an artist collective called Art Lords. And these are Afghani artists that have produced new work, but also have taken a lot of work out of Afghanistan before the Taliban. ArtsFairfax has partnered with Macerich, the developer and manager of Tysons Center. It shows what art can do to enliven a public space and create new opportunities in the community. We're seeing a range of styles in the artwork, from the very traditional Middle Eastern to more contemporary work where you see influences, worldwide influences on the narratives within the pieces. They are mostly paintings. There are works on paper as well, and about 30 works altogether in the exhibition. People come to shop, but then they find something artistic and cultural that they didn't anticipate. Maybe they didn't set out to go to an exhibition that day, but they got one. And if we can embrace all of our community and our artists in the community and highlight that arts and culture in our public spaces, we'll all benefit from it.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of County Magazine. Thanks for joining me. Remember, there are countless ways to get involved in your community and make Fairfax County an even better place to live, work, and play. I'm Brian Ashby, and we'll see you next time on County Magazine.